Yeah, I think in the beginning, when we were organizing the first conference, there was a moment. It was the first conference we ever organized. We didn't really know how to organize a conference, so we were sort of just making it up as we went along. And there was a moment where we realized it was just not gonna work. So we hadn't sold enough tickets, and we realized also from talking to other people, like we were missing one key speaker. And then there was a moment where we had to think, like, are we gonna take our loss and just cancel the whole thing, or go all in and spend a lot of money in getting one big name?
Yeah.
And I remember that we were standing somewhere like on a bridge, and the sun was shining. You can see the bridge from here because we had the office in the old 11 building next to the library. And we're standing on the bridge, and we were going like, well, the sensible thing would be to cut our loss and sort of save what we have. But that's also sort of boring. And there was a moment where we just said, like, all right, screw it. Let's just spend all the money we have and put in our own money and just book this one expensive speaker and go down in flames if we have to, but then at least we gave it everything we had. So that was sort of a combination of a low moment, because we were realizing, like, oh my God, we're so in over our heads. Yeah. It's really not working. It's so much harder than we thought. And then we decided to just risk it all, which sounds very brave afterwards. But the moment you're doing it, it's just like, oh my God, how am I going to ever explain this to anyone that we're taking such a huge risk?
Yeah. Okay, wow. Low. So that's, yeah. And then just based,
to be fair,
yeah.
I think there have been, like, I think every month we had, and we've had several, where at the beginning of the month we weren't sure how we were going to pay our employees at the end of the month. And I think there have been about 10 times where we were in such a situation in 10 years, where we would just, I just didn't know if I would still have a company at the end of the month. And I think that's a very, like, not a subject that a lot of people talk about. Yeah. But I think every entrepreneur recognizes that, like, the risks you take
definitely
are always there.
Definitely. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, definitely the fuck ups, they're not talked about enough, I think, and it's a lot of hard work, right? And
yeah. I think there was a book, and I forget which book it was, but it was a book written about Google founders. And one highlight of the book was that one of the founders said, from the outside, Google looks like, two geniuses at Stanford, and they invent something, and then it's just like this.
It's like, yeah.
And he said,
arguably, you at that same point now, right?
So all uphill. And then he told a story. He said there were 16 moments in the first 10 years of Google, and some of those moments were after the IPO, where they had the same experience, where they weren't sure if they would still have a company the next day. And this is Google, right? The success story, one of the biggest companies in the world.